Welcome back to the World Beach Ultimate Club Championships here in the picturesque Portimão. Things are heating up here as the sun is shining and we're in the elimination rounds. It is do or die here in the open division, and we have Frisbee from Belgium taking on Padova from Italy in a round of 16 matchup. Should be a classic. Liam Grant alongside Mark Duty. And tell us about these two teams' journey to this elimination bracket.
Yeah, both teams have had great runs through the tournament so far. Both coming in maybe a bit underseeded, having some nice upsets, and they actually played each other in the first game of the day, or first game of the week even. Now meeting again with the stakes a lot higher, Liam.
Yeah, that result doesn't matter now. It was Padova, if I'm correct, 1-11-9, but it's an elimination round that doesn't matter. Probably different weather conditions as well. The wind's just picked up kind of a cross breeze here in Portimão. It was kind of upwind, downwind early on in the tournament. This is kind of right across the pitch. We'll see how the teams adjust to that. Padova definitely more famed for playing Beach Ultimate in Italy with big tournaments like Paganello, BULA Beach Cup, but this young Freezzz rosters have really shocked a few teams here. Had that big upset against Solaris early on in the tournament that stood to them.
Yeah, absolutely, and on the back of their player to watch, Arne Geernart. It feels like every year a new pair of Belgian brothers crop up on the scene, and this time it's the Geernart brothers from Frisbee's. They've been playing since they were little kids. I believe it's their aunt who got them into playing.
Yeah, in a shout out to her, and younger brother Tour is here as well, and they're 21 and 19 years old. Yeah, so watch out for 88 as well, number Tour Geernart. There's Arne, the older brother there. Yeah, so they're playing a lot with their auntie, Ine, coach of the Belgium team. As we look at Lorenzo Turci there, he's been one of the stat leaders of this Padova side. Again, two very young teams here, found themselves in the round of 16. Kind of a good matchup for both.
Yeah, both the Belgian and Italian programs having two of the best youth systems in Europe, and it's showing in these club teams. Both of these, not the first club teams you'd think when you think of Belgium and Italy, just showing the depth that they have across the player base.
Should be a really exciting matchup here, and I think both of them would be happy with the team they're facing in the round of 16 and kind of avoided a lot of the favorites, the two young sides, but they've earned this position. I see the blading backhand pull. You can see how much the wind's going to affect the game as that one rolls out the far sideline towards the grandstand. We're going to lose a few discs in the grandstand. I'm calling it now early, so this very much coffin corner to start things off for Frisbee's. Looking for that under to Van Hecke. Van Hecke using the full width of the field. Arne hesitates on the hook. And does look like maybe a forced middle from the Italians. This is going to be hotly contested battle in the air. Oh, great composure. What an incredible grab. Takes one down off the top shelf. Arne Geernart does it for the Belgians.
Yeah, Arne getting involved immediately there. Stat leader, that's it. Another goal to add to the 14 he's already collected this tournament. But really these guys can do it on both sides of the disc. We see an even number of goals and assists for both the Geernart brothers, just showing the level of talent they have.
I'm sure Ine Langfleet taught him how to do that. And you can see, I think it was a forced middle, I think, from Padova there. Something you see Italian teams do quite a lot. So it's able to go kind of coast to coast, corner to corner on that big backhand hook over the field, and not too phased by that defensive look. So a clean hold for the Belgians. Let's see what Padova can do here. Just grinding out the unders. As we see Lorenzo Turci, he's going to be directing things. That was not his intended receiver, but ends up being completion nonetheless. Mazzo.
Yeah, contact there on the around cut, but as it was caught by Padova, I think it'll be retracted and we'll play on.
So Carlo Mazzo will retain the disc, man coming out of Padua. Punches it upfield. Palmieri throws one low to the ground and just gets forced down, and there's the first break opportunity now for the Belgians.
Yeah, we see the crosswind coming into play there, the wind picking up and forcing that throw into the ground.
Frisbee's so good at using the full width of the field. That one balloons up into the air. It's going to be a jump ball, and winning that battle is proved. You feel like they might have the height mismatch in this game. The big men from Bruges, getting high in the stall count, has to go backwards. Luca Rogisart puts, and a turnover. Looks like a call here. A few sighs from the sideline on that one.
Yeah, great show of respect from the Padova players. Just making sure everyone calms down before they have that discussion. We see that's Reese involved there in the foul call, a veteran out of Bern.
This one is going to be contested. Get out of jail free card there. So Prot gets it back, rifles one in the inside channel. Now leading out for the break pass. That one well chased down. Willems with the goal.
Yeah, great point from Prut there. Making a great possession saving grab and then throwing a beautiful inside to open up the Padova O-line defense.
It's just how young this Frisbee roster is. Our Frisbee's 19 years old, Emil Willems. And they've been fearless all tournament long. We have a look at that foul call again. An exceptional bid, but ends up going back. Tommaso Zanon.
Yeah, we see that inside shot just open them up and sets up a load of space for that OY flick.
That's a difficult throw. Going cross field with this wind, as you see one sitting up there. Now a big old bunny biscuit, but that's going to fade into the grandstand. And that's the first one that's been buried under there.
Yeah, that throw came out OI straight away, and with this crosswind, it never gave the receiver a chance.
You can see already, even by the lead of that pass, what way the wind is blowing. Needed a lot of IO edge in that, just never really gave it. Show the other side of this to the wind, and so it's going to go into that grandstand, and we'll see who can obstacle course that one out of behind the grandstand. They've got it out now.
Yeah, and the wind picking up and cooling down, which is really not giving these throws a chance to settle in a groove and find the right kind of angles and slap they need to put in these throws.
Luca Rogisat leads on a blind. That's a dangerous throw, but they like to live dangerously this Frisbee side, but that one goes astray. So Padova get it back. Barbastreji still looking to find a groove, but using the full width of the field again. Matzo drives one down line. Turchi punches one in, and it's another great goal. Immersi.
Yeah, taking a much more conservative approach there on the second possession, working it all the way up, and then a little pop to the front cone of the end zone. It's a great adaptation from Padova, and they get their first hold of the game.
So the score now 2-1 to the Frisbees. Much better there from Padova, Barbastreji. Definitely one of the more unusual Frisbee names. can often tell the age of a team by the name of their club. A lot of switching downfield from the Italians, looking to catch out this young Bruges side. Arne wants to swing the disc to his younger brother. Tour sends a low backhand, which is well gathered up by Van Mullum out in the sprays. As we see the brotherly connection yet again, that one looked like it was going to be high. And they're living on the edge here, and eventually goes to the ground. A chance for Padova to break back.
After some excellent patience against that forced middle, just rushing a throw and slightly too far for the receiver.
Giuliani, I believe, is one of the Rimini players on this Padova side. Look, composed here, this D-line from Padova, and they throw it in the end zone. That's a spicy number, it can't be gathered in.
Once again, the crosswind having effect on the disc there. That throw just slightly too high for the receiver, and he takes the wrong angle at it.
Yeah, you feel anytime you show the underside of the disc to the wind, in this crosswind, it's going to be very difficult to run down. Van Mullum picks it up. The release valve that is Arne gets the under for him and looks to get it back. He's been everywhere this tournament for this Frisbee side. And again, this forced middle and sagging the lane, stifling the Frisbee side at times, but they keep on grinding in power position now. Very active forces Padova. Getting high in the stall ground, has to go for the hammer, but that one's going to head toward the Urida stand.
And we've got a stall out call on the throw, so it might be coming back even further up the field.
See if we can listen in on this one.
And I feel like he wanted to have that time as close as possible when I released it. So I think it's fast count in the last 2 seconds.
I don't know, I didn't think I speed up. Can I ask you silent?
Yeah, somebody heard it.
I speed up or not?
I don't think so. I was hoping you didn't, and you didn't, in my opinion.
I'll confess it because I think at 8 I wound it up and then it was really quick and tight.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
And it's deemed that it did not affect the play. I think they were trying to establish whether it was a stall or not, but they're just happy to let the turnover stand. That hammer that went a little too far. I think it was going to be a turnover, whatever the resolution was.
Yeah, Padova aren't going to be complaining too much. They've got the disc, and they have a second chance at this break now.
Yeah, I think they were just arguing for a few extra yards field position there. So a little bit trickier picking it up in the front of your own end zone, especially on that far sideline where the wind is somewhat trapping you. You see surrounding here from Frisbees, trying to trap them, but Padova do well to get off the line. The deep shot is there, launches a flick. Will this one hang? He's stumbling and falls shy of the disc.
When that came out of his hand, I thought he'd waited absolutely perfectly against the wind. Maybe a second or two later, and we might have seen the highlight of the game so far.
All the way from downtown, and again, showing the other side of the disc just makes it very difficult, but I've seen a few people stumble and fall here on the sand. And you even saw on that, when we went to the close cam shot, a lot of panting from both players. It's a lot of hard work out here on the beaches of Portimão.
Especially with the amount of short passes this forced middle from Padova is forcing them to make.
Tour. Again, that brotherly connection and a flying Italian man. They sit one up into space, milking this one like a dairy cow into the end zone. It is the Frisbees team. Beautiful goal from Delanotu.
Yeah, it took 3 tries, but that was excellent force middle offense on the 3rd attempt. Just zigzagging their way across the field, not letting the defense set. And a great lead into the end zone for the score.
Ewood Delanutu. He is the youngest man on this roster at 17 years old and out there scoring 0 points.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, you'd be mistaken in thinking if that Belgian under-24s team was just a golden generation. They are producing youth player after youth player, and it shows here.
De Flamink with the pull for Frisbees. Padova tries some lateral cuts, but have to go backwards. And you can see really from sideline to sideline the cutting pattern from Padova at times. And the flashing in the lane from Frisbees. Stifling the undercuts, and this one is going to hang in the air, and oh, a brilliant read. Did well to get his hand to it, but can't wrangle that one in.
Excellent read. It was bobbling as it came down, but just bouncing off the fingertips. That's probably one of the best weighted hooks we've seen with this cross window that just keeps picking up as the game goes on.
Turchi can't come down with that one. So it will be Raf De Flamink to walk this one up to the front of his own end zone. And you can see Padova here, they have a player sagging the lane. Often the first few seconds of the stall count, they sag in the lane just to stifle the downfield passes. With Frisbees moved this very well side to side here. De Flamink wants to send a big old buttery biscuit to the end zone. This one's going to hang, and well defended from Padova.
Yeah, that's Severin Reese with the block, a veteran out of Bern, and using all his experience to get a correct read on the disc there.
So the Swiss import getting heavily involved. It looks like we have another collision downfield.
It's always tricky to avoid contact when you make plays like that coming across the receiver's pass. And yeah, it looks like it's uncontested.
An accepted foul call. So Padova will retain possession. Palmieri. Deep shot is there. It's been a hacky game, but that one is right on point. A beautiful goal for Padova. And Severin Reese getting it done on both ends.
The difference maker there, Liam, he showed the other side of the disc to the wind. That's the first time we've really seen the hooks coming from the other side. It does cause them to die quicker, but in that time, it was weighted to perfection.
As we see this, first the block from Reese just died a little bit in the air, and he made the better read. It's like a destruction derby out here at times. A few collisions downfield, but good to see the foul accepted.
Yeah, giving a whole new meaning to the word sandbox with that bid, but excellent weighted throw.
Score now, 3-2 to the men from Bruges. Very flat force, very active force as well for Padova. It's been one of their strengths as they... Looks like they're forcing forehand now. That one skips up into the air. He'll have a second by the cherry and takes it down. Gets it off that difficult sideline. Tour leads them in. What a brilliant possession from the brothers. Getting it done.
Another brotherly connection there for the goal. But yeah, this Padova defense is really impressive. The force middle, especially in conditions like this, the more passes you can force an O-line to make, the more room for error there is. But in that time, handled very well by the Frisbee's O-line.
Arne Greenert getting it done. Makes that big grab, and his brother Tour doesn't hesitate to feed his big brother. And as you said at the opening of this game, the brotherly connections going on in Belgium is just incredible. Add them to the list of sensational brothers out there, as we see younger brother Tour smiling on the sideline.
Where do you think we're going to get the next one from? Are we looking at Ghent again? Are we going back to...
I don't know where they're going to come from, but by God, they're going to have a difficult to pronounce last name, that's for sure. That is the one recommendation or one thing you have to have. Belgium name is always fun. In power position, no marks, was able to fire from the hip, but well defended. Wasting no time now, the Frisbee's D-line. Vets. A few shuffles on the reset.
Great dump defense from Turchi.
Reset thinks that the hammer blades a flick. Oh my God, out the back. The bin man is there to collect the trash. What a grab.
That's Emil Willems, the 19-year-old, putting the D-line on his back and just snagging that before the end zone line.
Is that the break bumblebee? I'm not sure what exactly that is, but it's a Freezzz actually is definitely what it is, but celebrating here. And that was a rocket of a forehand, but well defended by Wets. Oh, he did tip it, and it was a game of Mac line, and you got to do that in these windy conditions. Back up the play. Didn't realize that Thursday was bin day here in Portimão.
But Willems certainly cleaning up the trash. Excellent adjustment to react to the tip as well.
Padova, not afraid to send it. That flick hook finds his receiver this time. Oh, a dangerous lofty backhand as well defended. And they've been absolutely everywhere on this field. Delanote, it's the older brother now, blows. So yeah, we have the, I believe they're cousins actually, Delanote. Family members.
If they're brothers, they probably have about 20 stats more each. Seems to be the way it works with the Belgians.
Keeping it in the family here, as they look to keep this break train rolling. Delanote getting behind his talk now. He's going to have to throw it somewhere, and down being called. Luca has a different opinion.
There certainly was sand everywhere, but I don't know if that was caused by the disc or the bid to catch it.
So it looks like Rogisat will keep the disc for the Bruce side, goes for the flipper, as Stefan Pazzo would call it. And really enjoying themselves out there, the young Belgian side starting to adjust to this very active force from Padova. I think there was a marking violation in there. Goes for the scuba dump. Not sure if that one was what was needed, but they gift it right back to them. And frustration being shown by this young Padova side. Not sure if they'll go for the scuba dump again. Delanote fakes the inside to open up the backhand. Great continuation down the break side, and another fantastic goal from the Frisbee. 6-2 now for the Belgian side.
The Frisbee's D-line doing a great job of keeping the disc on the high sideline. Super important in a crosswind. And we see they just work it all the way up that line. And a relatively easy pass for the score in the end, Liam, after some very tough resets to start.
Frisbee's enjoying themselves out there, and we can see, just watch this flick fake, I think sends the mark and opens up that backhand. There's that continuation down this near sideline, lethal for the Frisbee side. And as looks like Padova are taking a timeout here as they want to try and steady the ship. It's been all Frisbees in the last few points. They've been outstanding and showcased why they're a force to be reckoned with in this. And as the teams take a break, so will we. Frisbees 6, Padova 2. Welcome back to the beautiful beach arena here in Portimão on the Playa de Rocha beach, and we have an exceptional game here. Now, what a performance from Frisbees in the opening few minutes of this game. They have 3 breaks so far and a commanding lead over Padova. As we see the sidelines getting pumped up, Liam Grant alongside Mark Duty. Been enjoying this game so far?
Absolutely, yeah, been really enjoying it. After quite a relatively tight start, Frisbee's starting to pull away with it. Their D-line doing a lot of work, and I rate that Padova have taken a timeout to rest their O-line's legs and hopefully get their D-line back out in the field.
Yeah, Padova calling the timeout after being broken twice in a row. Could be 3 times now as the break opportunity goes to Frisbees. Ewood Delanote, the younger of the cousins, will maintain possession. Looks like it was just a pick called, so a chance to take half here for Frisbees. They go for the hammer. That one's going to be on the money, sugar-coated, and everything going the Belgians' way here. They're really enjoying themselves here. Padova looked frustrated, disenchanted at times.
With all the throws we've seen popping up in this crosswind, maybe the answer was the overheads all along. That one sat perfectly.
As they sprinkled some salt on that disc. That was a beautiful hammer. I thought it was a bit spicy in this wind, but executed to perfection, uncorking that one, and that's 3 breaks on the bounce for Frisbees.
Yeah, Padova really need to switch something up with their offense if they're going to find a way back into this game. We know they've got quality, certainly with Turci, and with the dump defense he's been playing. If they can get a few holds together and get him out in the D-line.
The Bees are flying high here in a blustery Portimão. And it is sunny and warm here, but there's definitely a stronger crosswind hitting this arena field at the moment. And Padova doing well to let that pull sail out of bounds. Coming out in a horizontal stack, looking for the deep shot straight away. That flick, they've thrown it a couple of times and hasn't been that successful. Again, with this crosswind, very difficult to execute that outside in flick hook. You feel like you need to IO it and just try and set it out there and tackle the wind a bit more.
Yeah, really just exemplifying the story of this game so far. Padova just doing a worse job of dealing with the crosswind, to be frank, and shows with that throw sailing over its receiver's head.
I think it's a fair assessment of the situation. Luca looking for an option downfield. Let's go for the reset. Baff, De Fleming, who caught that hammer goal earlier, wants to get involved again. Again, great patience at time from Frisbees. If there's cuts downfield, they don't like it, they'll take their reset option. That one sails high and wide though.
Padova switching up the defensive tactics a bit with a singular force towards the high side, and it pays dividends there, forcing a really tough inside shot.
So Padova get it back in better territory. Tucci loses yards in the first pass but bounces back. Has eyes for the end zone. There's a player free. Can he find the shot? There it is. Sneaks one through to the break side and a much needed hold for Padova.
Great work from Turci. Really helping anchor this Padova O-line. We see him wearing the cap that Humila Swag gave to the MVP of each game, and it's understandable why they gave it to him on both sides of the disc. He's been a stalwart for them.
Who got it on pug?
Who do you think? Jack McNamara, every time. Every time.
Not yourself, Duty, then, no?
Listen, he's got enough, I'll probably be able to steal one off him on the way home. He won't notice.
Sensational inside shot there. And you feel the Italians just need to adjust to this wind. I think that's been their biggest weakness so far, and choosing what throws are on and how they're going to tackle that wind. Need to get a sailor on their coaching staff, as that pull is blades high into the sky and gives them plenty of time to set up their defense. Stack very far away now, but a brilliant undercut, and again using that give-go option to great affection. And there is a Buttery Biscuit sent to the end zone. An offensive clinic here on the sands.
Sat out on an absolute platter. Padova coming down in a forced middle there. I think this Frisbee's all have proven they're just too good against it. I think they need to switch up the defensive look, because we see there how quickly they move the disc and how good they are at finding these inside shots that force middle allows.
Yeah, I think that up-rushing handler from the Frisbees on that force middle, if they can hit that along that sideline, it really opens up the whole defense. And they've been very good at doing that. I think particularly when you play five-a-side on sand, having those up-rushing handlers, getting involved very early and playing the way you're facing is a brilliant way to play offense. And that one just sat into the wind perfectly, and that's been the big difference. Those throws from Frisbees really adjusted to the wind and putting a lot of spin on the disc and giving your receiver an easy rundown, while at times for the Italians it's been really difficult to catch blades.
And while they probably don't play too much beach, the Belgians play a lot of indoors with 5v5 big pitch. It's a similar format that allows them to practice these kind of throws.
Turchi is going to go for the blade, and that is deja vu situation for them. We've seen them do it a couple of times. That flick hook, too much of the underside shown to the wind, drifts over the head receiver so hard in sand to adjust as the disc blades over your head. And you feel like that needs to be IO. It needs to be IO and flat up into space. And you can see the stark comparisons between the last two throws to the end zones. The one for the Belgian one's flat, lots of spin, made it very catchable. That underside shown to the disc and just fades over the head yet again.
It's interesting from Frisbee's on defense as well. Conventional wisdom would say you force towards the low sideline.
As we see this low throw from Frisbee's.
But it's almost like they're baiting these flicks with this force to the high sideline. They want them to get it there and make it look so inviting. But the wind just keeps playing tricks with the disc.
Palmieri going back to Turchi, who is going wearing that hat all week long. Mazzo shoots to the middle as Giuliani puts his hand on his back. Looks like he may have injured himself there. Not sure if there was a call or perhaps he got a small tap on the back there from Van der Beek. Oh, and Turchi throws his body at that one. You feel every possession a must score for the Italians, but there's a flying Belgian man and it's an accepted foul.
Uncontested there, but bodies flying around the place now. Padova might be down, but they're still putting up a fight and putting everything on the line to keep their tournament lives alive.
Grinding up the line. Going back to the reset space. Not happy what he sees. Looks like Turchi has lost his hat. And there's a shot for a goal. Next level offense from Padova.
Roberto Palmieri. Only 23 years old, but honestly with this game that might make him one of the older players on the pitch. Either way, a great throw up the line.
And you feel that small ball offense suits the Italians a little bit more. The hooking game has not worked for them the last few possessions, and it's probably a bit tougher on the lungs, grinding up the field, but that sit down shot there gets plenty of zip on that forehand and stays flat in the wind.
It'll be interesting to see if Padova go for any different defensive looks, especially after that last O point from Frisbee's.
Haven't broken yet so far, and that is a high flying pull, and offside is being called here. At least that's what was, I think was gestured.
Looked like an offside to me. No contention from the Padova team anyway.
So after a brilliant pull, end up giving them the break nonetheless because they're offside, and that is an error they can't really afford at the moment. Quite a flat force from Padova, maybe slightly towards the backhand side as they go grinding towards the far side with Delanote, who pumps it upfield to Van Hecke. Again, great flow from these Frisbee's offense as they punch it in the front of the end zone.
Frisbee's showing they can play a little bit of small ball themselves.
Scoring with ease at times, beautiful offense, and you know, Frisbee's a little bit of a surprise in this open division how well they've done, but watching them here, it isn't luck, it's skill, and they have some great flow in their offense to just take on those simple give goes really well, understand how to throw in the wind, making it look easy at times.
Absolutely, it's these throws in the wind that are just so solid. I imagine they had their big upset, I believe, on the Tuesday, which was the worst conditions so far, and really showing they're able to play in all conditions.
Certainly at beach tournaments, you're always expecting a bit of a wind. There's often a sea breeze, or you know, you're very exposed to the elements here. It's not often you get still conditions on sand. Turchi. Better now from Padova as they grind the under. It's a collision downfield. Don't think it affected the play. Imagine it will stay with Lorenzo Turchi, who's got 3 assists so far. Taking their time touching this one back in. It's gonna be a cell check. Turchi wants to shoot to the end zone, but can't get the clear option as they work it through the handlers now. That a dangerous throw that's swatted away.
It's that flick again, just exposing the underside of the disc.
And below is Delanota, who fumbles for a second, but he's been great on defense. This is going to be discussed, I think, between new players. Turchi does not think it was a foul. I think the VAR getting involved there as
yeah, it looked like he had the inside line and just got a touch in the disc first.
I think players might have spotted the big screen in the back of the field and watched that one and retracted it, which we love to see. Just shy of the end zone now. Knocking on the doorstep. The Italians fighting for their life as they pop one in, jam it in the jam hole.
Turchi is an absolute workhorse. Getting this back on D and then just making a bunch of moves in the handler space, eventually getting free of that front cone.
And they've looked to improve their offense as this game has gone on. It was a dishy lefty, was it?
Looked like it. Much safer option for those short range throws in this wind.
Another hard grind for the Italians, but I feel like it suits their style of play more. Just a lot of hard work from the handlers in small spaces. And that's all well and good scoring your 0 points, but they need to find a way to stifle this sensational Frisbee's O-line, who have looked unfazed. And there, another great pull, and this time they're onside, so better chance for Barbastreji to set up a defensive look here. Very deep stack from Frisbee's.
And we see the defensive look changed up. Just a pure backhand force from Padova.
Oh, and that a dangerous scuba into traffic and well gathered up. And you can see that defensive play coming. It looked like the Frisbee's stack was just way too far away and was put on an island there. Threw up a hopeful stall line throw and a chance for the Italians to break it. As their first break of the game, they punch it in. A great goal gathered by Fabrizio Meschetti.
Yeah, the switch to a backhand force instantly paying dividends. We see just how much harder it is to swing the disc when you have to break the mark around. Frisbees have been doing a great job of getting these release valve cuts to the middle of the pitch.
And that was team defense as well from Padova. A beautiful shot, finding the open receiver, but a good pull allowed themselves their defense. I felt like Frisbees were far too far away on that stack and not really providing any options for the thrower, and has to throw up the scuba, which I don't think he wanted to do. It was more just a stall line, throw it somewhere, put it up to the break side. So, you know, having a good pull and staying on side matters, allows your defense a better chance to set up, and then doing well to shut down receivers. I think Frisbees are too far away on their stack, and that's an adjustment they'll maybe make in this next point.
And in a blustery game like this, field position is so important. If they can keep throwing those good pulls and get a couple of short field turns, they'll be able to generate more break chances and maybe put some of them in.
You can see the difference in break chances there. Padova getting their first 1 of 3, and Frisbee's been fantastic at generating the break chances. They've got 4 so far in this game. 4 breaks out of 10 break chances, so you can see why Frisbee's in the lead. The Italians now with a bit of a skip in their step. They got their first break. It looks like they're enjoying themselves a little bit more, get pumped up here as they look to do the same again.
And they've crossed Turchi over to the D-line for this point. With the plays we've seen him making for the O-line, no doubt we'll see him getting involved in a D or 2.
And I like this pulling technique from the Italians. Just that big bladey pull. No player's going to try and catch that. Lands in the end zone, rolls out the back, and okay, they take it from the front, but you get so much time to set up, talk about what you're going to do. And again, Frisbee's very far away in this horizontal stack. You see a
I think it might have been another offside, actually.
Wow. Because that looked like an exceptional pull, and
again, getting to start much further up the field, Frisbees.
They hit the open reset straight away.
And we see this singular force towards the low sideline again.
Oh, and what a block! The Italians aren't going down without a fight. And they have their talismanic leader, Lorenzo Turchi, on the field now to play offense on this D-line. Vertical stack, wants to attack that break side. Lofts one up. Looking for the continuation now. Pavan throws on. What a brilliant throw. Sensational. That was Palombarini, my apologies, with the throw. And that is 2 breaks in a row for the Italians.
We see again the short field turn paying dividends. Padova now taking their turn to play some good force middle offense. They get it to one sideline, and then the crossfield shot weighted to perfection. Maybe the first flick into this crosswind we've seen from Padova shows they're adapting.
And we can look at this offside here from the Italians. It was close. Haven't seen too many offsides being called, but the Frisbees have called it twice on the Italian side, and they haven't protested.
No, it's usually one of those things that teams or spirit captains will communicate on the sideline between points. I imagine it's one of these cases here.
And you can see the Frisbees have a player standing on the line. That's something they're watching out for. So I think it's something the Italians need to watch out for as well. That one looks to be onside. And a dangerous first pass, but gathered nonetheless and getting some momentum now, as the scoreline is tighter than it was 10-15 minutes ago. And a shot to the end zone is going to be hotly contested. That's into the palms of Turchi, who walks it up the front of his end zone. Can they keep this break chain rolling? A collision. Van Hecke perhaps catching him on the back heel.
Just a little shaken up on that catch, but good to see he'll be staying on the pitch. As we see Turchi with yet another D on the game. That's his first for the D-line.
And a superb comeback here from Padova. They were 7-2 down at half. If they score this, it would be 9-8. Ragusa looks for his reset. Not a lot of action coming downfield. That a dangerous throw. Not sure that's how they drew it up, but it works nonetheless. Another foul called. I think this is thrown in the vicinity of Turchi and just hope that he comes down and throws his hat emphatically to the sideline. Goes for that dishy lefty again, drives up line Turchi, but Trying to cram it in again. The Italian's getting high in the stall count, has to go around the back. They love playing in this narrow side of the field, but eventually swinging. No continuation cut on the break side. There comes now as they step around the backhand. The dishy lefty, hotly contested, swiped away. A sensational play. We'll see if it stands.
We've seen the number of lefties thrown this game ramp up. Maybe a bit too trigger happy with it there. Don't know if he got his hands around that one.
They're asking for it again on the field. Doesn't look like a strip anyway from that angle, but I'm not sure what the call on the field was. Harder to see on this angle.
He certainly may have got his hands to it, but it didn't really look like he got full control at all.
Looks like a clean D to me on that replay. And looks like it's going to be a turnover. We get to the resolution eventually. I think that's the correct one, and I think VAR playing its part a couple of times in this game, and shout out to our camera operators being in the spot to get all the angles. Going for a dangerous hammer across field and catches that one with his whole body as he possibly wants a new disc. Yeah, that's one way to catch this, literally squish it against your chest. So elegant catch there.
Yeah, I don't know if any of the beach bars are serving tacos. They might have to start.
Taco Thursday here in the Open Division round of 16. And I know time is gone. We're trying to find out if it is game point to the Frisbees. Not entirely sure at what point it went.
Players just repositioning. Let's get back to where they were at the time of the catch.
Tour again at goes for the dump option to his brother, who launches a flick. Hotly contested, almost gathered on the second opportunity, and the Italians waste no time. They want to move to this fast, and they're ready to go. Giuliani launches one, and Arne gets it back for the Frisbee side. Both teams playing with fire here and getting a little huck happy perhaps.
Our players to watch for the game, Torchi and Arne, just trading deep Ds right now. We'll see if either of these two lines can sure it up.
Who can find the moment, ride the lightning here. Torchi goes for a laser flick, which just about finds the receiver. I think there might be a travel called. I'm not sure what the call is. You can see in that replay there's a small slide. I think it's an upside throw. I think that'd be a very tough call. They're looking back to for the VAR referee again as we get another look at it. I don't think that should be called a travel. From how the game has gone, I think that'd be a very rough call. I think Padova have shown good spirit as well with that last defensive play.
Especially on sand, I can understand on grass where you've got cleats that dig into the ground and it's easier to hold the pivot. With the footing so difficult on beach, it seems fairly incidental.
I think both of the players looking to the looks like they're going to disagree on this one.
The classic contested travel.
Van Hecke saying you did move your foot a small bit. You know, I think early on in the game, I'm not sure if he would have made this call, but this gets back in. No travel on that throw. Torchi having a good battle with Van Hecke. Gets the around break to the upwind sideline. Going every other pass here now. Torchi finds Massetti downfield. Going for that low release back, and there's a continuation, and it's easily caught, and that is the third break in a row.
Padova down, but certainly not out. Took them a couple of tries on this time to put in that break, but eventually working it the full length of the pitch. Some really nice breakside flow.
As we saw a hook happy point here, both teams wanting to end it quickly, but not able to reel down any of the hooks. Just playing a game of catch here with their opposition. It's like a game of rugby, kicking for territory at times. I think that's just, you know, tiredness creeping into the game as well. You're towards the end of the game, you just want to end it quickly, but the Italians kept their composure, played the smaller ball, working the break side, and just teases one to the back corner of the end zone, and it's 9-8 game to 10 here. And Padova looked dead and buried at half. They were 7-2 down at half time and have scored 3 breaks in a row to just be winning 1 point. Oh, Frisbees, but Freezzz coming out on offense with a possession to win the game.
And that travel call might have worked in Padova's favor, Liam, giving the D-line a chance to cool the heads, settle down, and play some really calm offense.
It looks like that is an onside pull as we get this game point possession underway for Frisbees. Everyone on the edge of their seats here at the main arena. Can these young kids keep their cool? Brilliant shot to get out. Who rifles the backhand beautifully. That is a buttery biscuit for the win. Frisbees advance to the quarterfinals. The Italians fought hard. The comeback was on, but in the end, the Belgian side just too good.
And that final shot is a story of the game. A beautiful inside leading pass from Guinard. He's been doing it all game as the release valve coming under and with his throws. And doing it one last time to put them through to the quarterfinals.
The Italians deflated at the moment, but they can keep their chins up. They fought hard and did themselves proud. This is a very competitive, open division, and that shot from Arne, perfection to win the game. And they've done that a number of times with that force middle. They find the windows to tease one into the end zone, and not sure who is defending the big man, but he gets the game-winning goal. And that is Raf de Flamink, who gathers it up for Frisbees. Their story continues into the quarterfinals. And we will get an end-of-game interview with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Arne Gierenhout. As we have a look at the stats there.
We see in the end, after that rally from Padova, getting 3 breaks back, only 1 break in it. But I think the story of the game is the difference in clean holds. To start the game, the Frisbee's O-line was rolling. And that made all the difference for them.
What a sensational win from the Frisbee's team. Gearnart, the 2 Gearnart brothers were sensational. I think we have Arne Gearnart on standby now for an interview with Benjamin Rees as we throw down to the lads now.
Arne, into the quarterfinals, must be feeling pretty good right now.
Yeah, crazy. It was a crazy match for us. I think we started really well. Credits to our D-line. They showed like a real fighting spirit. We really want to win this game. I think we didn't have any expectations coming into this tournament, but I think we showed we're like a real contender and at the top of the beach. So we're really happy.
How, obviously you mentioned coming in with no expectations. What do you think has kind of elevated your performances so much this week?
I think like we're with a really small but young squad, and we're all friends of each other. We're like a really close group, and we trust each other on and off the pitch, and I think this shows our like mentality on the pitch too.
Tell me about that last game-winning throw.
Yeah, it was crazy. I saw Raf going deep, and I thought I was too exhausted, so I thought I just put it, and I'm really happy. I can trust everybody.
Let's have a final shout for maybe friends and family watching back home.
Yeah, I want to shout out to my girlfriend Amber at home. I love you because I'm on Erasmus and I didn't see her for a long time, so this way I want to show her some love.
Amazing. I'll let you get back to the Spirit Circle. Okay, congratulations, Arne. Let's throw it back upstairs.
Shout out to all the girlfriends watching at home.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Liam Grant alongside his boyfriend Mark Duty here. 2 Irish lads in the booth. What a great game. And I'll give you a quick wrap up of some of the other pre-quarters. We saw Sundogs beating Solaris, but as we look at this highlight package here, it was a hotly contested battle from both sides, but just better throws in the end, I think, from Frisbee's was the big standing and biggest comparison to make.
Certainly, the throws in the wind. We see right here just the effect it was having on the disc. Frisbee's winning, reading that one better, but also managing the wind with hammers like these.
What a game the young men from Belgium put on. Buttery biscuits galore in this one, and how many times to do that through the force middle, found a window, sat one up to the end zone, and often a big Belgian man, but Torchi and the Italians didn't go down without a fight as they battled back in this one, getting 3 breaks late in the game, but just too much of a hill to climb for the Italians. So it's Frisbee's who booked their ticket to the quarterfinal. 10-8 in the end for Frisbee's. For Mark Duty, I've been Liam Grant. Be sure to stay tuned for some more great action coming up here at the World Beach Ultimate Club Championships. More elimination rounds coming up here. Stay tuned to ULTI.TV.
Thanks.
Yeah, ultimate.
ULTI.TV.